Okay, so today we're going to talk about multiplying polynomials. And when you multiply polynomials, and I actually think, I don't have my stuff with me right now, but I'm pretty sure we talked about this briefly first semester. So I'm hoping that it jogs your memory, but if not, don't worry about it. But what we're going to do is we are going to multiply the whole numbers together. So 5 times 2 is 10. So we multiply those. And then you are going to add the exponents of the variables. So x to the third times x to the second is x to the fifth. Okay, because what this means is, if we were to write it out, it means 5 times x times x times x times 2 times x times x. So 5 times 2 is 10, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's, so x to the fifth. Okay, but we don't have to go through that whole process. We just know, okay, I'm going to multiply the coefficients, which are the whole numbers at the front, and then I'm going to add the exponents on the variables. So here, 2 times 4 is 8, and then c squared times c to the fourth is c to the sixth power. Okay, and then let's look at letter C. So we're going to multiply 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And then if I were to combine my like terms, I have an a times a squared. That's a to the third power. And then b squared times b to the fourth would be b to the sixth power. And that's my answer, right? So a times a squared was a to the third, and b squared times b to the fourth was b to the sixth. So why don't you guys pause it, do this one, and then come back and check. Okay, what you should have, negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8, and then x to the third times x to the second is x to the fifth power, because we're going to add those exponents, and then y squared times y to the eighth would be y to the 10th power. So, all we're going to do on the next section is essentially the same thing, okay, but we're going to use the distributive property. So we're saying, well, what would happen? Like here, it was just one little monomial, right, times another one. Well, what's going to happen if I had a monomial, this 2x, times this polynomial? And you're like, that is a lot of weird words. So what we're going to do is the distributive property. So what if I do 2x times 4x squared? So I'm forgetting that all of this other stuff is here, and I'm going to treat this just like I did these things up here. So 2 times 4 is 8, and then x times x squared is x to the third power, because 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, and now, let me see, hopefully this pen works. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 2x times 3x. So it's like I'm forgetting that this part's here, okay? So 2 times 3 is 6, and x times x is x squared. And that's my final answer. So I'm just using the distributive property. Okay, this was a positive times a positive, positive, positive times positive 3x, positive 6x. So let's talk about the next one where we have a negative. So negative 3x times positive 7x would be negative 21x squared. Negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. X times x is x squared. Then I have negative 3x times 5. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. So I can write that as plus negative 15 or minus 15. And then I have an x. Does this one have an x? Nope. So it just stays x. So let's look at letter G. So I'm going to start again. Negative 2y squared times 4y to the third. Negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8. Y squared times y to the third is y to the fifth. Okay, and then I have a negative times, right? This is keep, change, change, a negative 8. So negative times negative would be positive 16 y to the fourth. So why don't you guys pause it and then do the last two, and then we'll come back and check them. Okay, so let's look at letter H. You may have noticed that it's a trinomial because it has 3, but you do the process the exact same way. 10x to the fourth times 3x squared would be 30x x to the 6th. 10 times 3 is 30. 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, then I'm going to have 10x to the 4th times 5x. Well, that's 50. X to the 5th. And then wait, there's more. So 10x to the 4th times negative 2 would be minus, right, or plus negative 20x to the 4th. It's 4 because there's only a 4 here. We're not adding any other x's. And then the very last one, 5a squared times 3a would be 15a to the 3rd. And then 5a squared times negative 2, right, would be minus 10a squared. Okay, so for your homework today, it's the exact same process. Okay, I have the first 6 are just like the top section of your notes. So you would do like 4 times 2 is 8. X to the 4th times x squared is x to the 6th. Okay, or then on number 7, we start with the distributive property. So you would say 4 times 3 is 12. X squared times x to the 3rd is x to the 5th. Plus 4 times 4 is 16. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. Plus 4 times 5 is 20. X squared times x is x to the 3rd. Plus 4x squared times 3 is 12x squared. Okay, I didn't space that out very well. But that's all you're doing, exactly what we did on your notes.